My child, stop right where you are. Do not scroll past this. Do not let the loud distractions of this world pull your eyes away from what I am about to tell you. This is not an accident. The very fact that you are hearing these words means that heaven has ordained this exact second for your soul to find rest. I know how heavy your mind has been lately. I know the racing thoughts that keep you awake in the midnight hours, the invisible weight that sits upon your chest when you wake up in the morning, and the silent anxiety that shadows your steps. You have been fighting brutal battles in your mind that no one else sees. You smile, you carry on, you take care of everyone around you. But inside, you feel like a fragile ship tossed in a violent, endless storm, desperately searching for a safe harbor. Listen to me carefully, my beloved. I am speaking your name right now. Can you feel the sudden stillness pressing into your space? That is not your imagination. That is my presence. I have seen the deep spiritual exhaustion in your eyes, the kind of weariness that a long night of sleep cannot fix. I have heard the quiet, desperate cries of your heart asking, Lord, when will this storm end? When will I finally feel safe? When will I have peace? My child, heaven has heard you. I have not been ignoring your tears. I have not been distant or distracted while you suffered in silence. Even when my silence felt deafening to you, I was working tirelessly behind the scenes, preparing exactly what your weary soul needs. Today, a divine shield of peace has been sent from heaven, specifically for you. It is descending right now, wrapping around your mind, your heart, your home, and your future. This is not the fragile, temporary peace that the world gives, which shatters at the first sign of trouble. This is my heavenly, unbreakable peace. It is a fortress that the enemy cannot penetrate. The lies, the anxiety, the fear of tomorrow, the overwhelming dread, they are hitting this shield right now and falling powerless to the ground. You do not have to fight this battle alone anymore. I am stepping in. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension leave your body. You are safe now. The storm outside may still rage, but inside this shield, wrapped in my arms, you are untouchable. I am with you, and I am not letting go. My beloved, look back at the path you have been walking. I have watched every single step you took through the darkest valleys of your life. I saw the moments when the pressure became so intense that you felt your spirit cracking under the strain. I saw you sitting on the edge of your bed, head in your hands, wondering how much longer you could pretend to be strong. The world sees your smile, your accomplishments, and your capability. But I see the hidden scars left behind by rejection, betrayal, and unexpected disappointment. I know the sting of words that were thrown at you years ago, words that still echo in the quiet spaces of your mind, whispering lies that you are not enough, that you are a failure, or that you are completely abandoned in your suffering. Do not believe those whispers, my child. They are the lies of the enemy designed to make you throw away your shield. I was there in every room where you cried yourself to sleep. I was there when you held your breath, just to keep from breaking down in front of your family or co-workers. Not a single tear you shed has escaped my notice. I have gathered every single drop in the heart of heaven. You are not a soul lost among billions. You are mine. I formed you with intricate care, and I have carried you through storms that would have completely consumed anyone else. Your survival is proof of my grace, not a stroke of luck. The exhaustion you feel right now is the result of carrying a heavy burden that was never meant for your hands. You have been trying to fix everything yourself, trying to manage the chaos, trying to guarantee a future that you cannot control. But I am asking for your surrender, not your human strength. Bring me your anxiety, your unresolved grief, your fear of lack, and your broken trust. Lay them down right here at my feet. As you release these heavy weights, my shield of peace is expanding around you, blocking out the static and noise of your doubts. Feel the heavy armor of self-reliance falling off your weary shoulders. Let my quiet presence fill the empty, aching spaces within your heart. I am rewriting your story with grace, and inside this divine sanctuary, your healing has officially begun. My child, I know there were seasons when you felt completely isolated, seasons when heaven felt like brass and you believed your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling. You cried out for a sign, for a turning point, or just a small whisper to know that I was still there. But all you encountered was a heavy, agonizing silence. The enemy used that silence to poison your mind, whispering that I had turned my back on you, that your mistakes had separated us, or that I simply did not care about your pain anymore. But hear my truth today. My silence was never my absence. Before a grand breakthrough comes, heaven often feels completely quiet. That silence was not a punishment, it was my divine protection. I hushed the atmosphere around you so that the enemy could not track your next move. I kept you hidden in the secret place of my presence, shielding you from arrows of destruction that were fired at your soul before you even knew they were coming. You thought you were stagnant, but I was actually anchoring your roots deeper into my love, so that when the blessings arrive, no wind will ever be able to shake you. Look closer at your life through the eyes of the Spirit. The very fact that you are still standing, that your heart is still soft enough to seek me, and that you have not been destroyed by the weight of what you went through is the ultimate proof that my invisible hands never let you go. The struggle you endured was not meant to break you. It was a refinement process, a holy preparation for the weight of glory that is about to be revealed in your life. And now the period of hiddenness is over. The shield of peace that I have wrapped around you is beginning to glow with my visible favor. It is standing between you and the tormenting memories of your past. It is filtering out the anxious thoughts concerning your future. You do not need to look at the giant waves of life and panic, because my peace is an absolute authority over every storm. The chaos of this world has no power to disrupt what I have already settled in heaven for you. I am breathing fresh life into your dead situations, restoring your stolen joy and calming your turbulent spirit. Trust the shield. Rest in my presence. Your new season has begun, and my peace will guard you every step of the way. My child, look at the shield that surrounds you now. The enemy sees this divine barrier of peace, and he is trembling because he knows he can no longer access your heart directly. He can no longer torment you with the same old weapons that used to leave you broken and bleeding on the floor. Because he cannot penetrate my shield, he will try to change his tactics, attempting to disrupt the holy alignment I am building within you. He will try to use the weapon of distraction, whispering subtle, toxic lies into the quiet moments of your day, hoping you will voluntarily let your guard down and step out of my protection. He will whisper into your ear when you are tired, telling you that your financial struggles will never end, that your health will continue to fail, or that the people you love will eventually turn away. He will try to trigger your old habit of overthinking, making you replay every past mistake, every failed relationship, and every moment of shame, until your mind becomes a chaotic battlefield once again. But I'm warning you today, do not believe his lies. Do not give your precious attention to a defeated foe. Every word he speaks to you is a calculated illusion, designed to steal the joy and hope that I have just poured into your spirit. When the anxious thoughts start to rush in like a flood, stand firm behind my shield of peace and declare my promises over your life. Remind yourself that the battle has already been won at the cross, and the enemy has absolutely no legal right to your mind, your joy, or your future. I have blocked his arrows, I have exposed his schemes, and I am guarding you with the full authority of heaven. The fears that used to paralyze you are losing their power as my light floods your heart. Do not allow overthinking to rob you of this divine encounter. Keep your eyes fixed on me, shut out the static of fear, and let my absolute peace rule in your heart today. You are safe inside my fortress. Remember, my beloved child, that your mind is a sanctuary, not a playground for doubt. The enemy wants you to focus on the storm outside your window, but my shield is specifically designed to handle the heavy rain and the fierce winds. You do not have to figure out how everything will work out tomorrow. You only need to trust the hand that holds you today. Let the anxious chatter fade into the background. I am silencing the voices of your accusers and filling your atmosphere with a holy calm. Rest your thoughts in my love, because I have already taken care of everything you are worried about. My child, take a long, deep breath right now and let your body truly feel the space you are in. I want you to look down at your own hands for a moment, the hands that have worked so tirelessly for decades, the hands that have built up lives, held up others when they were falling, and wiped away your own hidden tears in the dark when you thought no one was watching. Look at the reflection of your face and notice the deep lines of weariness that have settled around your eyes, the constant tension gripping your neck, and the heavy stiffness in your shoulders that you carry like an unwanted garment day after day. You often whisper to yourself that these are just the natural signs of aging, just the inevitable physical toll of a long, difficult life. But I want you to look at yourself through my eyes today. Those physical marks are not just signs of time passing. They are the visible maps of the heavy emotional weights you have been forcing yourself to carry all alone. Every single time you forced a brave smile while your heart was secretly breaking. Every time your breath caught tightly in your chest from a sudden wave of overwhelming panic. And every time your heart beat wildly in the middle of the night out of pure dread for tomorrow. Your body was keeping score. It was absorbing the violent shock of the storms you refused to complain about. But hear my voice clearly in this exact second. You do not have to be an unbreakable warrior anymore. My shield of peace is not just an abstract barrier guarding your thoughts. It is a living, breathing sanctuary designed to restore your physical frame and completely soothe your exhausted nervous system. As you rest quietly in my presence right now, feel this divine shield extending a comforting, celestial warmth directly into the very places where physical pain and chronic tension have lived for years. I'm placing my invisible hand gently over your chest, right over that deep, anxious ache that never seems to fully leave you. Can you feel it? That is not your imagination. A gentle cooling wave of heavenly peace is beginning to flow through your veins, systematically loosening the tight knots in your muscles and slowing down the frantic, chaotic rhythm of your mind. I am actively reversing the deep weariness that the harshness of this world has inflicted upon you. Inside this shield, your breathing is finally becoming deeper and easier. The heavy, suffocating fog of mental exhaustion is lifting from your mind. This is what true holy surrender feels like. You do not have to fix your own brokenness. You do not have to find the strength to heal your own body, and you do not have to force yourself to be strong for everyone else anymore. You only need to drop your guard, sit completely still beneath the protective shadow of my wings, and allow my heavenly shield to do all the heavy lifting for you. The crushing weariness of your past is melting away into the endless ocean of my love, and your body, soul, and mind are being beautifully renewed in this very moment. My child, look beyond yourself for a moment and see how far my shield of peace is expanding in this very hour. It is not just wrapping around your individual mind and your physical frame. It is actively pushing outward, establishing a holy, impenetrable perimeter around your entire home, your family, and the relationships that have caused you the deepest heartaches. I know the heavy, suffocating silences that have settled into your household lately. I know the sharp words spoken in anger or misunderstanding that have left invisible, painful walls between you and the people you love the most. You worry constantly about your children, your grandchildren, or your spouse. You stay up night after night, twisting and turning in your bed, carrying the heavy weight of their futures, their mistakes, their financial struggles, and their emotional pain on your own fragile back. You fear that your family is drifting apart, that the beautiful warmth of the past has been replaced by a cold, distant routine. You have carried a quiet, terrifying dread deep within your soul, the fear that you will become an unwanted burden to those you love, or that you will lose your independent strength as the years go by. But hear my voice clearly right now. I am erecting my divine shield at the very threshold of your doorway. I am actively filtering out the generational anxieties, the spirit of discord, and the bitter misunderstandings that have tried to take root under your roof. Where there has been friction and endless arguments, my peace is now flowing like a rich, soothing oil. I am breaking the hidden cycles of emotional distance and bringing back a supernatural tenderness to your living spaces. You do not have to fix their lives. You do not have to carry their salvation or their worries on your shoulders. You only need to trust them completely into my hands. My shield is protecting them even when your eyes cannot see them. I am standing guard over your bloodline, fighting battles in their lives that you know absolutely nothing about. Let go of the desperate need to control or fix every broken dynamic. Rest in the absolute knowledge that my peace is actively rewriting the spiritual atmosphere of your home today, replacing chaos and worry with a holy calm that will draw everyone back together under my boundless grace. You and your house are safe under my shield. My child, as you sit within this holy sanctuary of my presence, let the shield expand even further to cover an area of your life that has caused you countless sleepless nights and silent, heavy tears. I want to talk directly to you about the deep, lingering anxiety regarding your material needs, your finances, and your daily provision. I have seen you sitting alone at your kitchen table in the quiet hours of the evening, staring at papers, calculating numbers over and over again, feeling a tight, painful knot form in the pit of your stomach. I know the unique dread that comes with living in a changing world where everything feels increasingly uncertain, where the cost of basic living keeps rising, and where your independent strength feels like it is shrinking. You have looked at your savings, your retirement, or your fixed income, and whispered to yourself in absolute fear, will it be enough? What if my health fails and the medical costs overwhelm me? What if I run out of resources and end up having to depend financially on my children? The enemy has used these very practical human worries to completely rob you of your present joy, making you feel as though you are a helpless orphan, left to fend for yourself in a harsh, unforgiving wilderness. But hear my decree over your life in this exact second. My shield of peace is also a shield of supernatural provision. I am not just the healer of your broken soul. I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides. The same hand that set the galaxies in motion and meticulously feeds the birds of the air is the exact hand that holds your financial future. Inside this divine barrier, I am dismantling the spirit of lack and scarcity that has tried to intimidate you for years. You do not have to live with the terrifying, suffocating fear of tomorrow's bills. Look back at the long road of your life. Have I ever truly failed you? Even in the leanest years, even when the cupboard was almost bare, my invisible grace always stepped in and made a way out of absolutely no way. Right now, my shield is filtering out the financial dread that paralyzes your faith. I am actively opening hidden doors of favor, bringing unexpected resources, and stretching your current provisions in ways that human mathematics cannot explain. You do not have to worry about how the coming years will be funded. Your life, your health, and your retirement are completely secure in my eternal treasury. Drop the heavy pen of anxiety, step away from the kitchen table of worry, and rest in the absolute, unshakable certainty that your Heavenly Father already knows exactly what you need before you even ask. My peace will guard your inheritance, and you will never ever be put to shame. My child, stand completely firm behind my shield right now, because I want to address another heavy, toxic shadow that has been quietly trying to creep over the walls of your heart. I want to talk directly to you about the paralyzing spirit of regret, the painful memories of your past, and the silent shame that continues to visit you in the deeply quiet hours of the night. I see you when you look back at the long timeline of your life, tracing the years with a heavy heart, getting completely stuck on the chapters of pain, the painful what-ifs, and the choices you wish you could go back and completely erase. The enemy loves to sit on your shoulder when you are alone, forcing you to replay your old mistakes like a movie that never ends. He whispers malicious lies into your mind, telling you that if you had only chosen a different career path, if you had been a more patient parent, if you had fought harder for that broken relationship, or if you had made smarter decisions decades ago, your life wouldn't feel so complicated or heavy today. You carry a hidden, agonizing weight for the words you spoke in anger, the golden opportunities you let slip through your fingers, and the people you love but simply could not save from their own destructive paths. But hear my absolute decree over your soul. In this exact second, my shield of peace is completely shattering the weapon of condemnation. When the precious blood of my Son fell to the earth, it did not just cover your past, it completely erased it. I have cast your mistakes into the deepest ocean of my forgetfulness, and I do not hold them against you. So why are you still forcing yourself to carry what I have already buried? Inside this divine barrier, the cruel accusations of the enemy lose all their legal power. They hit my unbreakable wall of absolute grace and shatter into dust. Stop being your own harshest judge. Feel my mercy wrapping around your soul right now, like a thick, comforting blanket of celestial warmth, systematically dissolving the icy grip of guilt that has frozen your joy for so many years. Look at your life through my eyes today. I do not look at you and see a collection of failures, regrets, or wasted years. I see a beautiful, battle-tested warrior who kept the faith through the fiercest fires. Your scars are not marks of shame. They are the gold-lined, magnificent proof of my redeeming power. Let go of the painful illusion that you can fix your past. Step completely out of the suffocating courtroom of your own mind, because you are no longer on trial. My peace is issuing a final verdict of total, absolute freedom over your life today. Let the heavy burdens of yesterday fall from your hands. Breathe in my refreshing grace, and rest deeply in the knowledge that your past is completely redeemed and your future is perfectly secure in my hands. My child, come closer to my heart right now. Let my shield of peace press even deeper into the quietest, most hidden spaces of your daily life. I want to speak directly to a profound, aching sorrow that you rarely talk about with anyone else. The heavy spirit of loneliness and the painful feeling of becoming completely invisible to the world around you. I know what it feels like for you to live in a modern society that moves so fast, a world that seems to constantly chase after the new and the loud, while completely overlooking the quiet grace and deep wisdom of those who have walked the longest, most faithful roads. You look around sometimes and feel as though the world has somehow passed you by. You sit in your living room during the long, empty hours of the afternoon, staring at a completely silent phone, wondering if your presence still truly matters to anyone, or if you have simply been forgotten in the busy, chaotic noise of everyone else's lives. The enemy loves to exploit these quiet, solitary spaces, whispering cruel, malicious lies into your isolation, telling you that your most purposeful years are entirely behind you, that you are a relic of the past, and that no one truly sees or appreciates the deep wealth of love you still have to give. But hear my holy truth in this exact second. You are not invisible to me, my beloved. My shield of peace is actively filtering out the suffocating lie of isolation. Before you were even born, I chose you, and my eyes have never left you for a single heartbeat. When you feel the most alone in your earthly house, your room is actually completely filled with the radiant light of my presence and the protective company of my holy angels. I am erecting this shield to stand directly between you and the crushing ache of abandonment. Feel my divine comfort wrapping around your heart right now, like a gentle, warm embrace, systematically melting away the icy, painful sting of rejection. I am shifting your perspective today. Your quiet seasons are not a sign of uselessness. They are a sacred sanctuary where I am keeping you all to myself, protecting you away from the toxic pollutions of the world. I am breathing fresh, vibrant purpose into your spirit, reminding you that your prayers carry immense spiritual authority, and your life is a beautiful masterpiece that is far from finished. Inside this shield, you are fully seen, deeply known, and infinitely loved. Rest in the sweet comfort of my companionship, because you will never, ever walk alone again. My child, rest your heart deep within this heavenly fortress. Let us speak about something that weighs heavily on your soul when you look at the ticking clock on your wall, the fear of passing time and the exhausting weariness of an endless waiting season. I see you looking back at the years that have flown by so quickly, feeling a quiet panic rise in your chest as you wonder if the deep promises I made to you will ever fully manifest before your time on this earth is done. You have prayed for the salvation of your family, for total healing in your body, and for a deep spiritual breakthrough for so long that your knees have grown tired, your throat has become dry, and your faith has begun to feel like a flickering candle in a harsh, cold wind. The enemy stands at the edge of my shield, pointing at the calendar, whispering malicious lies into your ear, trying to convince you that it is far too late for you, that your window of opportunity has slammed shut, and that your remaining years will be nothing but a slow, quiet fade into obscurity. But hear my sovereign truth in this exact second. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the Lord over time and seasons. I do not operate according to human calendars, and my promises never come with an expiration date. Inside this divine shield of peace, I am slowing down the frantic rhythm of your anxious heart. The waiting season you have endured was never a sign of my denial, nor was it a period of forgotten delay. It was a wholly necessary season of hidden preparation. I was keeping you in the secret place, strengthening your spiritual foundations, so that when the sudden floodgates of my ultimate blessing swing open, you will have the capacity to carry the magnificent weight of my glory without losing your balance. My shield is not just protecting you from current dangers, it is actively storing up the answered prayers of your past, ready to release them in a glorious, rapid succession. You have not run out of time, because I am the God who redeems time, restoring the years that the locusts have eaten. Every single prayer you whispered 20 or 30 years ago is still completely alive, breathing before my heavenly throne. Do not look at the natural circumstances and despair, for my peace is an absolute guarantee that what I started in your youth, I will beautifully perform and perfect in your advanced years. Inside this shield, your strength is being supernaturally renewed like the eagle's. Let go of the anxious rush. Lay down the frantic worry about the future and rest in the absolute certainty that your greatest, most impactful chapters are being written by my hand right now. Your waiting is over and your season of fulfillment is here. My child, stay here with me inside this holy enclosure. Let my shield of peace descend even lower to touch a place that you often hide from the eyes of everyone else. The deep, sacred room of your heart, where you store your unhealed grief and the lingering trauma of loss. I see you when you look across your living room at the empty spaces, the quiet corners, or perhaps the empty chair that reminds you of someone deeply precious who is no longer by your side. I know the sudden, sharp ache that catches in your throat when an old song plays on the radio, when a specific date passes on the calendar, or when a random memory catches you completely off guard in the middle of a mundane day. You have suffered devastating losses on your journey. The loss of parents, a spouse, lifelong friends, or perhaps the painful loss of your own vibrant youth and the dreams you had to lay down along the way. The enemy loves to creep into your grief, trying to turn your beautiful memories into a heavy, suffocating prison of permanent sorrow. He wants you to believe that your best days died with what you lost, and that the rest of your life will be nothing but a heartbreaking echo of the past. But hear my tender whisper in this exact second. My shield of peace is a powerful barrier against the spirit of mourning. I am the God of all comfort, and I am standing right inside the broken places of your soul. I am not asking you to pretend that you do not hurt, nor am I telling you to simply forget the beautiful souls and seasons that shaped your life. But I am fiercely decreeing that the paralyzing sting of that trauma ends today. Inside this divine shield, I am wrapping my arms around your broken heart, systematically applying a heavenly balm to the invisible wounds that time alone could never heal. Feel the icy weight of grief melting away under the intense warmth of my supernatural presence. I am separating your identity from your losses. Your story did not end when they left, and your purpose did not expire when that chapter closed. My shield is actively filtering out the despair, leaving behind a pure, golden gratitude for what was, and a brilliant, radiant hope for what is yet to come. I am restoring your capacity to feel deep joy, to laugh without a hidden pang of sadness, and to breathe without restriction. Trust the shield to guard your fragile heart as I turn your mourning into dancing. My child, let us sit together even deeper within this heavenly fortress, and let my shield of peace cover a deep vulnerability that you carefully hide from the rest of the world. The silent, creeping dread of physical decline, the fear of aging, and the quiet anxiety of losing your independent strength. I see you in the early hours of the morning, when you first step out of bed, feeling the stiff ache in your joints, the slow heaviness in your knees, and the unexpected fatigue that seems to claim your body before the day has even properly begun. You look into the mirror and trace the changes in your own reflection, the fading color of your hair, the subtle loss of stamina, and the small physical tasks that used to be effortless, but now require a deliberate gathering of your energy. The enemy stands right outside this shield, malicious and cruel, trying to use these natural physical adjustments to completely paralyze your spirit. He whispers terrifying lies into your quiet moments, telling you that your body is a failing vessel, that your independence is slipping away like sand through your fingers, and that you are destined to become an unneeded, fragile burden to those you love. But hear my sovereign, unshakable truth in this exact second. My shield of peace is a powerful force of divine preservation and supernatural vitality. I am the Lord who formed every cell in your body, and I do not abandon my masterpieces when the years advance. Inside this holy barrier, I am fiercely rebuking the spirit of infirmity and the shadow of decrepitude that has tried to cloud your future. The world casts away what is old, but heaven crowns it with unrivaled dignity, honor, and spiritual authority. Your advanced years are not a slow descent into weakness. They are the gold-refined summit of a lifetime of faithfulness. When you feel a sharp twinge of pain or a sudden drop in your physical strength, do not interpret it as your defeat. Stand firmly behind my shield and remind yourself that your life is sustained by my eternal breath, not by human limitations alone. Right now, my shield is filtering out the exhausting, heavy terror of sickness and dependency. Feel my divine peace washing over your physical frame like a refreshing, life-giving stream, soaking directly into your tired muscles, soothing your aching bones, and revitalizing your nervous system. I am anchoring your strength in my supernatural grace, ensuring that your eyes will not grow dim and your spiritual fire will not be abated. You do not have to fear the passing of time, because I am holding your hand through every single season, providing the exact stamina you need for each day. Let go of the frantic worry about your physical tomorrow. Step away from the fear of vulnerability and rest completely in the absolute certainty that your body is perfectly guarded, your dignity is fiercely protected, and your remaining chapters will be filled with my radiant strength and boundless peace. My child, do not move from this sacred space. Stay closely enveloped within my shield of peace, for we must now look forward together and confront the silent, trembling anxiety you carry regarding your unwritten tomorrows. I know the quiet dread that fills your soul when you think about the unpredictability of the world, the changing times, and what might happen next. You look at the news, you listen to the rumors of chaos, and you secretly wonder, what will my life look like in the years to come? Will I be safe? Will I be left to wander through the dark alone? You have spent so much energy planning, worrying, and trying to secure a future that feels completely out of your control. The enemy loves to stand at the borders of your mind, painting terrifying pictures of worst-case scenarios, trying to make you live in a future of disaster before it even arrives. He wants you to believe that you are walking blindly into a dangerous fog, completely unprotected and vulnerable to any sudden tragedy. He whispers that your health will fail when you least expect it, or that you will find yourself abandoned when you are most vulnerable. But hear my eternal decree over your life in this exact second. My shield of peace is a total barrier against the spirit of fear concerning tomorrow. I am already standing in your future. I am the God who inhabits eternity. I am already there in your next year, your next decade, and your final breath, paving the path and setting every crooked line straight. Inside this holy enclosure, your future is not an unpredictable hazard. It is a beautifully designed kingdom of my unshakable favor. Do not let your heart be troubled by the shaking of the nations or the uncertainty of earthly systems. My shield is specifically engineered to filter out the terrifying noise of the unknown, giving you a supernatural confidence that defies all human logic. As you rest here, feel my peace dismantling the heavy trap of anticipatory worry. I am anchoring your soul in the absolute truth that my goodness and mercy will relentlessly pursue you every single day of your life. You do not have to figure out how to survive the coming years, because I have already prearranged your victories, your provisions, and your total protection. Let the frantic weight of tomorrow fall from your hands right now. Look forward not with dread, but with a radiant anticipation, because inside my shield, your destiny is fully secured, and your unwritten days are completely flooded with my boundless glory and grace. Rest in my love today, for tomorrow is already perfectly safe in my hands. My child, stay completely still right here with me inside this heavenly fortress. Let us experience the profound depth of this sacred moment together. as my shield of peace seals you into an atmosphere of absolute, undisturbed rest. I want you to look at your life right now through the eyes of the Spirit and truly notice the profound shift that is taking place within your atmosphere. For decades, you have lived under the heavy, exhausting illusion that you had to be the immovable anchor for everyone around you. You became the default problem solver, the one who carried the secret heartaches of the entire family, the one who managed every sudden crisis, and the one who absorbed the cruel shocks of this world without ever allowing yourself to complain or cry out for help. You conditioned your mind to believe that showing any sign of vulnerability was a dangerous weakness. So you wore a thick mask of stoic strength while your inner soul was quietly screaming for relief. But hear my tender, sovereign voice in this exact second. The grueling performance is finally over. I am not demanding your human perfections, your tireless efforts, or your ability to fix the broken pieces of this world. I am simply asking for your total, unconditional surrender. I want you to close your eyes, take a long, deep, trembling breath, and feel the heavy, rusted armor of self-reliance completely falling away from your weary frame. Let your hands drop open. You do not have to hold the world together anymore. That is my job, and my hands are infinitely capable. As you rest beneath the comforting shadow of my presence, feel my divine shield systematically infusing a celestial warmth into every dark, fractured, and hidden corner of your soul. I am actively breaking the invisible chains of hypervigilance that have kept your nervous system trapped in a state of constant survival mode for years. My shield is acting as an absolute barrier against the suffocating expectations of the crowd and the exhausting trap of people-pleasing. Let the chaotic chatter of the world fade into a distant, powerless whisper. I am completely validating your existence, restoring your dignity and reminding you that your worth is found in my eternal love, not in your constant labor. Inside this divine perimeter, the storm outside has lost all its authority over you. You are no longer running on the fumes of your own willpower. You are being completely filled and sustained by the effortless flow of my sovereign grace. Rest deeply, my beloved, for you are perfectly safe, fiercely protected, and infinitely cherished in my hands today. My child, we have reached the sacred culmination of this holy visitation, but hear my promise clearly. This is not the end of my presence, nor is it the fading away of your peace. As you prepare to step back into the rhythm of your daily life, I am permanently sealing this divine shield of peace around your soul, your mind, your physical body, and your home. The heavenly barrier that descended upon you during these holy moments will not vanish when your screen goes dark. It remains standing as an everlasting wall of fire between you and every predatory spirit of fear, anxiety, and despair. You are not the same person who began listening to my words at the start of this hour. The invisible chains have been shattered. The ancient regrets have been washed away in the river of my mercy, and the crushing weights you carried for decades have been buried forever beneath my cross. Look forward now with eyes of absolute faith. You are stepping into a beautifully rewritten reality, walking out not as a fragile victim of circumstance, but as a battle-tested warrior crowned with my sovereign favor. When you walk through your home today, notice the fresh, holy stillness that has replaced the heavy atmosphere of worry. When you face the unknown tomorrows, remember that the hand that set the stars in motion is already there, securing your path and ensuring you will never be put to shame. If my touch has truly transformed your life today, type, "You are my shield and my peace," in the depths of your faith to seal this covenant in your spirit. Do not let the enemy convince you that this was just a fleeting emotion. Faith sees what the eyes cannot yet behold. and my power has already moved in the silent, hidden places of your being. Thank you for walking this divine journey with me. Our holy mission is to fill your weary heart with God's endless love and absolute protection. You can support this ministry of hope through super thanks, as every bit of love you send helps us touch and rescue more hurting lives across this world. Share this video with someone who is secretly drowning in their own silent storm. For as you share His power, you will watch me open paths in your own life that no man can ever close. It is finished. It is beautifully done. It is eternally yours. Rest deeply, my beloved child, for you are safe in my arms forever.